What's up, good people? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Grown Man Hour. I'm your host, Bernard Riley. Glad everybody could be here today. Um, yes, you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about that. A woman actually is getting jail time for poking holes in condoms. We're going to get all the details on that. And we're also going to talk about Vivica Fox. She said Kevin Samuels got his karma. She said that. So we're going to touch on that too, and a number of things. So I got a good one lined up for you. Let's get ready to go. Let's get it.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mumia Obsidian Ali. You know who I am. I need no introduction, right? And you're listening to the Grown Man Hour with my man Bernard Riley, heard weekdays right here on YouTube. What do you think about that? How about that? Now let's get back on with the show. Thank you.
What is up, good people? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Grown Man Hour with your host, Bernard Riley. Appreciate each and every one of you coming on in today. I ain't even going to front. I'm kind of rolling out of bed on you. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night, but we are in here. We are in the building. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and get ready to go. Shout out to the early bird squad, those that make it in bright and early before we even get things started. Those of you, you know who you are. I see you down there. Shout out to RM who beautifully edited the tribute video that I did for Kevin Samuels called Remembering Kevin Samuels. Make sure you check that out if you haven't seen that already. Yeah, she did a really good job. She does a little video editing, has a channel over there. I implore you to check it out. She never drop her link. She drop everybody else's link. She never drop her link. I be telling her to drop her link. Y'all go over there, check her out, show her some love. She's definitely like moderator of the year around. Definitely over here on my channel. I don't know how the rest of black YouTube feel about her, but she's definitely the real MVP over here when it comes to being a moderator. So shout out to RM and her excellent work. Shout out to Paul Game in the building, says hit the like button and sub too. What the hell is that? Let me blow that up, make that big. That's supposed to be me? I think me and RM had that discussion before when she had me. I think that was RM that had me looking like a Simpsons character with the emojis. Like, come on now. They give us the option to to use all shades of emojis. We put our fists in the air, we marched, our voices was heard, and we got black people emojis. So goddamn it, use them. You see right there? You see that's how it's supposed to properly be done. Right there. Right there. That is an emoji of a okay, now this one, okay, that's a black man with a beard, but for some reason he got a weird part in his head. He got like some little wavy stuff going on in the middle. No, 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 no. He's supposed to be tapered up and lined up, as crisp as possible. It looked like that's see, you got a white person emoji and just painted it black. That one don't look right. But the thumbs up is right. The thumbs up is the right skin tone. See, look at this. Somebody come look at this. What is going on with the emojis? Am I the only one seeing it like that? Where it's like they got a black dude with a white man's part in the middle of his head. Maybe the emojis pop up different on my screen than what they do on everybody else's screen. The emojis looking weird. On my end, at least. All right, shout out to the early bird squad, those that make it in bright and early. Shout out to Paul Game, RM. Oh, she called you out for it, I think. You're going to sure hear about it from Bernard Riley. You giving him John Deese and John Deese and all. Oh, okay. Yeah. She called him. Only 6 months. Should have gotten 2 years. We about to be getting into that. Yeah. Now had a man do this. It was a stream I did a while back from the show. I forgot what it was called. It was a black female show. Very professionally done show. You'd have thought it was a professional TV show, but it was actually just, I think, only on Madame Noir. That's what it was. So that they have a huge publication and they have a very professional looking YouTube channel. I don't even know if they're still making videos, but they did something on stealthing. Stealthing is the act of a man removing a condom without a woman's consent. And they basically said that is grape. For those of you that are new here, going to say grape because we can't say that R word that rhymes with grape. So we put the G in front of it to trick off the algorithm so they don't pick up that we're talking about that. But yeah, they basically made the case that it was the same as grape. The argument that I put forth is a different argument than poking holes in the condoms, because that's even more explicit, and we're going to get into that. I said that if two people were in a relationship and her being on birth control was that was their agreed upon method of pregnancy prevention, her being on birth control. If she gets off birth control without informing him, would they look at it the same way? Because they were willing to say stealthing, removing the condom. Keep in mind, the condom being on, that is the agreed upon method of birth control for those two individuals engaging in that sexual encounter. The condom is the agreed upon method. If he moves it without her knowing, they're calling that grape. If her being on birth control was the agreed upon method and she removes the little thing they put in there, or deliberately stops taking the pill, or deliberately doesn't go get the shot, and one with however you slice it, if she deliberately gets off birth control without telling him when he was going forward under the assumption that she was on birth control, just like she, bent over and arched her back under the assumption that the condom would be on, if they're willing to say that one is grape, are they willing to say that the other is grape? I posed that question in the comment section. I never got a response, but I did a live stream or a pre-recorded video on it. And yeah, I didn't expect to hear back from them. But this is even more insidious. If you're talking about poking a hole in a condom. The Mac Trucker says, good. I don't feel bad. Shout out to Mac Trucker. Shout out to Capone. Shout out to Rebel Zoe 1804. Shout out to Capone in the building. Shout out to Capone. Salute. RM saying, build it while you fly it. Absolutely. Hood Servant, if you know, he gonna do a praise dance, the boogaloo, and light a can, like he breaking out old bottles of champagne. He breaking out old bottles of wine. Old bottles his granddaddy gave him. He breaking out all the bottles for that one. Shout out to Dr. Thunder in the building. I had a great time over there on Case Closed this past Sunday. It was a great conversation. it was really, really good. I got to get, well, one, I plan on being back over there next Sunday. But I also want to I'll talk to you about it, Dr. Thunder. I want to clip part of that and use it for my show. And it'd be good promotion for the upcoming case closed. But yeah, but no, it's definitely good. Shout out, but not shout out to OGJ Speed. Yeah. Shout out to everybody in the building. Yeah, okay, I see. Okay, you got him dancing. Nope, it's a white dude. It's a white dude dancing. They don't count. You know, you got to use. We use black emojis. Like we marched for black emojis. Okay, stop using the Simpsons character colored emojis. That's not what we marched for. We marched for black emojis. God damn it, use them. I don't play that. Use the black people emojis. Yeah. But all right, we about to get into this, man. This is a mess. Not the first story, the main story that's titled in the thumbnail. Oh, your phone racist. Shout out to Nigerian Flex. I appreciate you sending that super chat during the pre-record. People normally don't donate during those, but thanks for contributing to the show during the pre-record. That was actually very, very nice of you. Very nice of you. Sent a $20 super chat during the pre-recorded video that I dropped right now because freaking boys. Okay, we about to get into this. We about to roll some not so beautiful being footage of Vivica Fox pissing on Kevin Samuels' grave. But Boyce Watkins and all the whole Simp Brigade and the Panda Bear Brigade, they are literally looking at Kevin Samuels' death like Mufasa died, and they like Scar in the Hyenas, trying to move slow, trying to move in on Pride Rock. Like that's what's happening. That's what's happening, and they going ham. So I dropped a pre-record on that earlier. Today. It's up right now, so make sure you check that one out. Make sure you check that one out when you get a chance. Yep, RM is dropping the link for it right there. Johnny on the spot as usual. Maybe I should say Jane on the spot, but she's always ready to go. But all right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into this. Where we at? Yeah, this ain't the main story. This is a subplot. I didn't feel like giving Vivica Fox a whole show. I didn't feel like doing a special set aside pre-record for her. So she's just going to get smuggled in. She's going to get smuggled into today's show. But she jumped up and said some nonsense, man. I think I'm gonna put together a collage of everybody who's just saying nonsense. Even Tom Lakis, who very unfortunately, like Tom Lakis was one of Obsidian's inspirations, That's so that obviously hits. That obviously hits in a certain type of way, but it is what it is. Like I'm like, the hell with him. The man literally said in response to Kevin Samuels' death, he said, "That's what you get when you use other people's material." I might do a stream on that one. Because part of me feel like if he used Tom Lakis stuff, I'm like, so what? Elvis stole from Chuck Berry. Kevin Samuels stole from Tom Lakis. Deal with it. But no, I shouldn't even make a joke about that one because that one is just bad. That one is just not. All this is bad. Like this is probably worse what we about to hear right here. I said Wakis. Man, I told y'all I rolled out of bed. I didn't get no sleep last night. Let me get some coffee in me so I can wake up. All right. Gotta go to Vivica Fox. Is this your queen? Cocktails and queens. All right, here we go. It ain't ready. Now it's ready.
This man was a hypocrite. In my honest opinion, he really was. I didn't find anything about him to be healing. He insulted African American women on a consistent basis. One of his last statements that he said was that if you're over 38 and you haven't married or something like that, that you're no good and disposable. To me, it was a shock jock. And, I hope this is teaching folks a lesson about the karma that you put out, the negativity that you put out in the world, that when karma comes knocking at your door, she might not be so kind. So, the fact that he killed over real quick and was supposedly with a woman that we don't. So, the fact that he killed over real quick and was supposedly with a woman that we don't yet know the nationality. Rest in peace. This man was.
Some of this stuff does not even warrant words. I know O'Shea is doing a good job at making a short pre-record on everybody who says anything disparaging about Kevin Samuels. O'Shea is just, giving everybody hell on it. I commend him for it. I hope he does it. I hope he rides that till the wheels fall off. I hope he fights that fight down to the last man. But I'm getting to the point to where I'm losing words for this type of shit. It's like it's getting to that point. It's getting to that point to where it's just foul. It's not like, okay, there's a such thing as, let's just say hypothetically, if Donald Trump, I'm going to step outside of our race real quick. If Donald Trump, somebody who's polarizing, was president of the United States, but still just a very polarizing guy. If he died, okay, I understand that there are going to be comedians that are going to make jokes and going to walk that tightrope walk of, is it too soon? Like we don't live in a culture where we're handcuffed. We believe in freedom of speech. We, over here, we don't engage in cancel culture. We not about snatching the mic from people. The whole works. I am with that 100%. But so, people have freedom of speech. They don't got freedom of criticism. They don't got freedom of rebuke. They don't, and that's where I'm at with it. That's why I applaud O'Shea for going after all of the people. I thought about making a collage of everybody who said something just ridiculous, because there's a tightrope walk. There's a fine line between saying that, hey, I wasn't quite fond of the man. He said a lot of things I didn't like. I think he said a lot of hurtful things. And so I just, I don't have much to say about his death. But when you go all the way there with karma, and that's up, because I tend to hear black folks talking about karma more than anybody else. Karma is a faulty concept. If you say that somebody is getting their karma when something bad happens to them, that means you're basically saying that anything that happens to anybody that's bad, then it must be their karma. I remember watching the Cocktails with Queens with Vivica Fox and the what are they, Four Washed Up Divas? I think Obsidian gave them that name. I remember watching that, and they were more on the lines that this was around, they were talking about Breonna Taylor and everything, and it, once you prescribe to to karma, you got to then turn around and say Breonna Taylor got her karma. Well, see, nobody would say that. Once you start throwing karma out there, you got to say that an 8-year-old kid who tragically died got their karma. Like, what did they do? That's one thing I hate, when we start throwing out the karma. Now, we not even getting all into that. I'm trying to make a sober and judicious statement before I go in, but he just went right there to the plastic face. talking out her butt. Probably the butt and the face is all plastic as well. But but that's neither here nor there. I'm just simply saying it's getting ridiculous. I can accept, jokes. I can accept jokes. Some jokes can be too soon, but the people who was talking about Red Bull and Viagra, if somebody said that in a lighthearted, non-mean spirited way, like they just was making a joke too soon, but making a joke, then okay, all right, whatever. But when you pull out the karma card, when you start saying all that, because he said some things you didn't like about black women, okay? He said, let's look at something that he said. He said that a man finds a proper woman. That's a Little Big Nate's term. He didn't use the term proper woman. That's a Little Big Nate's term. He said if a man finds a proper woman, that he should be willing to marry her in 6 months. And I disagree with that, by the way. But when he talk about what it would take for a woman to even be falling in that category, I think it's clear. I think it's basic. I think it's obvious. Vivica Fox falls out of that category. She's sitting there saying this is karma and talking about he killed over, like that little gesture that she made. Because when he's talking about those over 38-year-old leftover women, those 38-year-old unmarried leftover women, yeah, he's talking about you. It's crazy that you're okay to celebrate the death of somebody because he has some points that talked about you, that you fell within the framework of what he was talking about. You're that woman. She's that woman through and through, other than being overweight. But in terms of being that, I'm pretty sure she was a single mother. I'm pretty sure she squandered her earlier years when she probably could have got married to. There was a time when Vivica Fox could have got married to probably 95% of the male population. She squandered that. Now she's staring down 50 and she's complaining over Kevin Samuels' rhetoric because she thinks some 50-year-old millionaire successful man is supposed to be somehow still attracted to her or messing with her in any way, shape, or form. But she hears the reality of what Kevin Samuels was saying, knew that it was right, and now she hated him, and now she's glad that he's dead. That's essentially what's happening here. That goes back to what Derek Jackson said. I'm glad, where he's basically justifying the women, saying they're glad that he's dead because now his words can't hurt us no more. That's essentially what's going on right there. That's essentially what's going right there. He says she's still leftovers. That doesn't change because he passed. Oh no. We get that. We get that completely. We get that completely.
A hypocrite. In my honest opinion, he really was. I didn't find anything about him to be healing. He insulted African-American women on a consistent basis. One of his last statements that he said was that if you're over 38 and you haven't married or something like that, that you're no good and disposable.
He said leftover. He said leftover. He said you're in no man's land. Yeah, there is a certain age where percentage chance of you getting married drops drastically. How do you take that as hate speech? How do you take it as hate speech that a man is saying something that you know is true? Because she know that she probably was fielding marriage offers like clockwork when she was 25. She knows that. She knows that. So for her to sit there and try to pretend as if he was saying something hateful, but now that she's finding herself staring down, I don't know how old she is. I'm just going to say she's staring down 50. I'm just going to say she's staring down 50. For her to find herself in a situation where, yeah, her options are different, and now she's hating the man who's pointing it out. She's hating the man who holds up that mirror, and now essentially celebrating the man now that he's dead, because now she don't have to, on a major media platform, there's nobody putting up a major big media mirror up to where she's at. So she's going to now celebrate his death. That is distasteful and disgusting.
To me, it was a shock jock. And, I hope this is teaching folks a lesson about the karma that you put out, the negativity that you put out.
Does that karma apply when a 10-year-old girl is raped? I'm just curious how karma works. A 10-year-old girl gets raped. Was that her karma? There are horrible people who are living their best life. There are wonderful people who are living horrible lives and die horrible deaths. We arbitrarily use karma. We arbitrarily use karma when it fits our narrative. That's what we do. That's how we do it. Shout out to Uncle Stu in the building. Whoa, Uneducated Lame just said she's 57. That's a wild one. That I didn't know. I didn't know she was that old. I knew she had to be pushing it though. Uncle Stu, the old man on the block in the building, he says, I have so much to say. Supporting black male media. We men all have a voice. Let's shout it out from the valley to the rooftop. Absolutely, absolutely. Shout out to Uncle Stu. Do appreciate you coming on through. But no, I did not know she was almost 60. Yeah. Like literally, like I'm sorry, a 60-year-old woman. I mean, I'm trying to think of the context. If a 60-year-old woman who's like, other than like, if you're a grandmother, okay, if you're helping with the grandkids, that's great, you know. But the overall net value to society, typically 60-year-old woman, her value isn't high, and that's okay. That's okay. Hopefully she lived a good life. But we're in a place now where these women, they on the market. They trying to get their one last hot girl summer in. And like, don't get mad at the person who's telling you that the last train left 10, 15 years ago. Don't get mad at the person who's telling you that. You can't get mad at the person who's telling you that, who's just tapping you on the shoulder, informing you that last train left the station. You can't get mad at it. Can't get mad at it. Vivica got more plastic in her body than Payless shoes. Wow. Shout out to you, John. Who's that? John Henry. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. Who else we got in here? We got Tom Etheridge in the building, says she needs to wish karma on her plastic surgery. Needs to wish karma on her plastic surgery. Like, look, I wouldn't even try to clown her, but I mean, we know what it is. We be seeing them. They be on there looking very witchly and ghostly. Her and Lisa Ray, you know, looking like they be looking dead in the face. They get up there dressed up in full drag, and yeah, we we know what it is, man. we know what it is, where they can't leave the house. They can't leave the house unless they in full drag. Like, if you wash their face and take their hair, take the wig off and just throw them outside, it'd be like the pouring water on the Wicked Witch of the West. They start melting. They'll start melting if the sun and oxygen saw their full natural form. Now, I'm cracking jokes, but in the event that Vivica Fox died, I would never say nothing like that. I would never say nothing that horrible to the dead. But goddamn.
In the world, that when karma comes knocking at your door, she might not be so kind. So, you know, the fact that he killed over real quick and was supposed
making a joke about him dying, like that whole gesture just says it all. That just says the coldness in this woman. That just says the coldness in that woman.
With a woman that we don't know the nationality. Rest in peace. This man.
And let's also keep in mind one more thing, then we got to move on to the main topic. One more thing, then we got to move on to the main topic. They tripping about that nationality. They are tripping about that. Me and Hood Servitor did a stream on that. Me and Hood Servitor did a stream on that. We talked about that. We explored the avenues of it, but they a little bitter and butthurt. They're a little bitter and butthurt by that she wasn't black. They're a little bitter and butthurt about that. Too cool for school in the building. He says for the BR and GC fund. Sure, he on the way. I don't know. Have not spoke to him. Don't know if he's on the way. But he always he got the door is always open for GC. We know that. We get that. But no, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Like I said, I'm not gonna do a whole stream on it. Not gonna do a whole stream on it. Shout out to O'Shea. He's doing basically a parade. Not a parade. That's the wrong word. A revolving door showcase of the individuals who's saying disparaging things about Kevin Samuels. I'll just say that and I'll leave that there. But shout out to O'Shea. I called out. I had to drag 2 simps so far, Derek Jackson and Boyce Watkins. I had to drag 2 of them so far. We got 170 people in here. Make sure you hit the like button. Now we get into the title topic. Moving right along to the title topic. Let's go ahead and get ready to go on that one. This is from the Daily Motion. Let me get that off of the screen. I should be able to see my screen. Woman who secretly poked holes in partner's condoms in bid to fall pregnant is giving 6-month jail term for, they use that word that I talked about at the beginning of the show, stealthing in Germany. We knew this wasn't in the States, but all hail Germany. I want to do that. Go ahead, Germany. You're getting very with the times. No longer you're washing away all the scars of your dark past, your bloody history. You're cleaning all that up right now. All right, let's get into it. Let's check this out. A German woman has been jailed for 6 months after she was convicted of stealthing her partner's sperm by poking holes in his condoms. I am shocked that it was even a rule on the book saying that you can't do that. That's a weird thing about law. It's some stuff that you do that's like kind of weird, kind of obscure. Like it's hard to like with Chris Brown putting the hot sauce in the condom. There's no law in the books to say you can't put hot sauce in a damn condom. There's no law in the book saying you can't poke holes in a condom. But there should be some laws on it should be some wording somewhere that would include it. That's what I'm getting at here. But laws can be tricky like that. And weird cases make for bad laws sometimes. But this is good. The woman who wished to become pregnant sabotaged her partner's condoms without his permission so she could harvest his genetic material. The court in Western Germany. So let's just keep this in mind. You got condoms in your house. You can't leave the condoms unguarded. If you got a little stash, a little drawer that you keep them in, no. You got to have your condoms in some top secret place in the house. You got to be like Batman with the condoms. You got to go down into the cave, down the spiral staircase, and the whole works. You can't just have them just sitting there in the drawer by the bed. It's convenient, but no. You gotta have a little trap door. You gotta punch the spot on the wall 2 times, like doom doom. Then the bookcase spin around, and then you go down the hallway with a torch and a lantern. Go down the long spiral staircase, and then that's where you keep your condoms. But all right. The court in Western Germany was told that sabotaging a condom ahead of an what in the hell? Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Oh wait, hold on. I'm hearing the Vivica Fox is the Vivica Fox was still coming on. The Vivica Fox was still coming playing in the background. My bad, yeah, my bad. Had to shut down that Vivica Fox. Sabotaging a condom is known as stealthing and normally involves a man destroying the birth control barrier. And this is a 39-year-old German woman has been jailed for 6 months after she sabotaged condoms used by her 42-year-old partner so she should fall pregnant. Picture posed by models. Those aren't them, of course. All right, let's get back on to it. It says the pair will meet regularly for regular intimate encounters from the beginning of 2021. The regional court in Bielefeld said the woman developed deeper feelings for her. Yep. Yep, we know how that goes. The woman developed deeper feelings for her partner that were not reciprocated by the man who was happy with the casual nature of their relationship. It's a lot to unpack there. That's a whole separate show. When you're keeping it casual with the woman and she catch feelings and then she starts doing drastic things to try to make this be more than just casual. Yeah, she went for the Hail Mary. She went for the Hail Mary. Okay, that's what happened there. She went for the Hail Mary. The court heard that she was unsuccessful in her attempt to get pregnant. However, the woman sent her partner a message over WhatsApp that she was pregnant and admitted sabotaging the condoms. So after a failed Hail Mary, she lied and said the Hail Mary was successful, thus outing herself. He responded by filing criminal charges against her. Now, I don't know if this is one of those precedent-setting cases, but it sounds like they already had something on the books saying that you more or less couldn't do that. The man then passed criminal charges against her, and the woman later admitted to attempting to manipulate her partner, according to the DW.com. Now, this is interesting because she admitted it. If she didn't admit it, she probably wouldn't get the 6 months. That's the tricky part of that. She probably wouldn't get to 6 months if she didn't admit it. Even though she said it to him, she could have just said, "Oh, I was just playing," or something stupid. If he don't got evidence of a condom with hole poked in it, then I'm shocked that, that he would be able to even bring any charges on her. But the mere fact that she admitted it, see, that's what happens. Like, what basically she got sloppy and comfortable. She got sloppy and comfortable in that whole, the notion, the schema of the fact that, she's a woman. She can do what she can do what she want to do. They're not going to prosecute a woman with a sex crime. They're not going to prosecute a woman with a sex crime. She got comfortable with that. So she just got sloppy and lax and just basically was saying, "Oh yeah, I did it. Big deal." But that's what she was on. She didn't know that there was some laws on the book saying that you can't do that. Like, the level of shock that she got hit with is through the roof. It's drastic. But anyway, the man then pressed criminal charges. Wait, hold on. However, the woman sent her partner a message on WhatsApp saying she was pregnant and admitted sabotaging condoms. He responded by filing criminal charges against her. The man then pressed criminal charges against her, and the woman later admitted to attempting to manipulate her partner. She just admitting to everything. According to the DW.com, the court was unsure as to what to charge the woman with. See, this is what I'm talking about, that tricky part of the law here. Because I don't think they got it on the books. But let's just, hold on. Well, let's see. They were unsure what to charge this woman with. Judge Astrid Sawuski said, "We have written legal history today." Okay, so it wasn't sitting there on the books. It wasn't sitting there on the books. Initially, the woman was facing charges of rape. Woo! I like it. I'm okay with them calling it that. Like I said in the beginning of the show, they were on the Madame Noir channel. They were saying that it is grape if a guy removes the condom during sex, hitting it from the back, and he slipped that condom off. They said that is a form of grape. That's what they said. And I understand their argument. I understand their argument for the simple fact that she's now engaging in a form of sex that she didn't previously consent to. Now, one could argue that once sex starts, it always turns into something that you didn't know was going. Okay, I'm just playing. All right, I'm not gonna make that joke. She didn't know I was gonna pick her up like that, but anyway. All right. Anyway. Moving on. She didn't consent to being upside down beforehand. It just happened. But anyway, but no, in all honesty, all jokes aside, that is it's a fair argument. It's a fair argument that she was unaware that the condom was going to be off. That means that she was being forced to engage in a sex in a context that she, according to her, would not have agreed to. Thus, they can categorize it in there with grape. And I asked a question like 2 years ago. And I used the example of birth control. I said, if birth control, the woman being on birth control, was the agreed upon method, that was the agreed upon method of pregnancy prevention, and if she, unbeknownst to the man, stopped taking the birth control and did not tell him and knew that he was proceeding forward under the assumption that she was on birth control, just like the woman proceeding forward, taking her back shots under the assumption that the condom is still on, if that's grape, the other one has to be grape. I never thought that anything would even come close to acknowledging that, but Germany apparently is. They're looking at a woman poking holes in the condoms, thus forcing a man to engage in a form of sex that he didn't consent to. Yep, that's grape. Got her. That's grape. That's what they're going with, and I am all for it. We have written legal history today. Initially, the woman was facing charges of grape, but this was later reduced to sexual assault. Fair enough. Judge Salawowski said, stealing normally involves man removing or sabotaging their condom during intercourse. She told the court the provision also applies. It says stealing. I think they meant stealthing. They spelled it wrong in the article. So I think that it's supposed to say stealthing normally involves men removing or sabotaging their condom during intercourse. She told the court this provision also applies in the reverse case. The condoms were rendered unusable without the man's knowledge or his consent. No means no here as well. In Germany, I must drop the bomb for you.
But they are who we thought they were.
Wait, sorry, wrong one. Oh, wait, that applies too to the woman.
But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
And now we'll drop the bomb. I love it. All hail praise due to Germany for getting that right. They had a law on the book about stealthing, and I don't even know to what degree it was even written in the law that it was the other way around. Like, that's a situation where they'll make a law for a woman, the law to protect the woman, but don't even consider the inverse. Doesn't even consider the equal opposite. But they had to on that day because he brought it on charges using that law that they made to protect women. He used that law against them. That is epic. That is a big deal. I agree 100%. But over here, we put the word G in front of the R word that you use in that sentence, so the YouTube algorithm Nazis don't come for me. So yeah. Use that like that. Use that like that. But no, they definitely got it right. When I was on Case Close over on Dr. Thunder's show, and I was over there, the subject of what is it called? Financial abortion, and all of that, came up. And I said that something like that, because he was talking about the Roe v. Wade and all of that. But I said something like the financial abortion. I'm going to connect all this. Don't worry. I said something like the financial abortion. I'm typically against that, because that will just give, the percentage of reckless dudes out there, that'll give them more incentive to be reckless. But I'm like, women have every incentive to be out there reckless as hell as well. They got every incentive to be reckless as hell. So I'm like, if they got all the incentive to be reckless, I'm not trying to take a tool out of the tool belt of the guy. So that's why, I made the point that, in the 50s and 60s, a bunch of housewives and housemaids raised hell and took power from the patriarchy, aka the second wave of feminism, aka the events that ultimately led to the manosphere even being created. And so the mere fact that all that happened, and then men are in great disadvantage in a lot of these situations like that, until he fought it and won. Men are typically in great disadvantage in those type of situations. Anything that will give men a win, I am for it, and I support it, and you should too. And you should too. So that's where I'm at with that. That's one of the biggest reasons why I was in favor of Roe v. Wade being overturned. Anything that enables certain actions and behaviors in the whole works on their end, I look at Roe v. Wade as that first domino. Rather start with Roe v. Wade, then okay, more of these babies are being forced to be born. They're gonna need some fathers. Okay, y'all can either up the ante on the all the social benefits, and I think some of the blue states will do that. Okay, it's gonna be more babies being born, and okay, it's gonna be more welfare. It's gonna be more entitlement programs. It's gonna be more of that. Or you can go the other way and good point. Good point. Good point, Judge Zilla. Excellent point. But yeah, so I'm sitting there like, the blue states, they're gonna probably have to flood them with more initiatives, more entitlement programs, more welfare, or they can do 50-50 custody. You're gonna force all these babies to be born, they're gonna need some dads. Not stepdads. Just to make it 50-50 out the gate and call it right there. That's what we need to do with that. So yeah, I'm all for hats falling. In any way, shape, or form. But Judge Zilla the Beast is in the building. Do appreciate you coming through. That's a hell of a comment right there. But you are correct. Oh man. Drew M in the building says, how can they prove a guy stealth a woman? She could have pulled the condom off herself during the action. Please explain. You raised a good point. From a pure legal standpoint, that is a hard one to prove. Like, they got this chick by the ovaries. I was about to say they got her by the balls, but no, they got her by the ovaries, largely in part because she admitted it. So unless he got condoms with a pole poked in the with a hole poked in the middle, then I don't know how he would prove that. So you got a good point. You no doubt got a good point. No, they're saying she got they're saying that she got 6 months in jail. They're saying that she got 6 months in jail. But damn, it was another good point I was on. How do you prove it? Okay. That's like stealthing is something that if a dude pull it off, see, it gets in that territory of believe all women. There's no major way around that. Let's just go ahead and get that out the way. You could have sex with a woman with the condom on, and let's just say the condom slipped off. It happens. Maybe you drop down to like 75%, and sometimes when that happens, a condom can slip off. You're not going to get into the reasons why you went from 100 to 80%. It happens to the best of us. But anyway, you drop down to 80%, and the condom slipped off, and you kept banging away, and then she could say, you took it off. Okay. Or maybe you just a horrible person, and you just took it off because you wanted to. Okay. how does she how exactly does she prove to the authorities that you actually did that? That's what I mean by it will turn into a situation of believe all women. So yeah, you're horrible if you do it, but how does she actually prove that you did it? So I always looked at it as more of a social thing. Okay, put a law in the book, but it's more of a social thing, like just raising social awareness. Because I never actually thought about it until I saw it on Madame Noir, and they made some points that made me say, I never thought about that. And I tried to argue out of it that say that it's not grape, but I couldn't come up with a good argument. So I just had to concede the point that okay, it is grape if a guy takes the condom off. But then that's why I just flipped it around. Okay, is it grape if she lies, or stops taking her birth control, or in this case, poke a hole in the condom? And Germany is upholding that. So good on them. Good on them. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. The link is in the chat if anybody wants to come on up. Yes, they do. Hood conservative condoms do slip off. If you ever wear them, I was about to make a backhanded joke saying that you just don't wear them. That's why you don't know that they slip off. If you ever wore one, you know that it can occasionally happen. It can occasionally happen. Sometimes you go from 95% to 85%. Or I got so many bad jokes in my head. Magnums aren't for everybody. Put it like maybe some people let me be wearing Magnums and they don't need to be wearing no Magnums. They're supposed to be in them lifestyles. They got them the Magnum just slips right off. Yeah. But no, if you find yourself, giving her some of that wet noodle action, then yeah, it might slip off. But anyway, speaking of wet noodles, okay, I'm not gonna do that to him. Anyway, OGJ Speed in the building. What's going on?
Good morning, there, Bernard. How the hell are you? Let me say something very important before I get into what I usually get into. Something we can do as men, all right? Since all this crazy stuff is going on, disrespecting a man and his body is not even cold yet. What we can do as men, even if we go in these chat rooms that these people are talking crazy, we don't have to say anything. We don't have to even type anything. What we can do, if everybody changed their avatar to sound Kevin's avatar and just go in these rooms and represent. That's something we can do without even lifting our voice. And it would make a true statement. You know what I mean? Because it's not enough of us out here making enough videos, because a lot of people who coming into this channel and other channels, they're not content makers. But what we can do is change our avatar to his picture and just start just climbing it in some of these chat rooms all over people who are talking this kind of mess. That's what we can do in support for him and the respect of him. Even if you disagree with him or not, that has nothing to do with. There's there's a level of respect you got to have for people, man. And it shows me I'm about damn near ready to burn my goddamn last part of my cake if they keep on with this
Oh,
shit. You know,
oh,
and so that's what we can do. All right. As far as your topic, I told you guys who like that oral sex that these women ain't just nibbling on down there between your legs on your Johnson. She might be nibbling in a hole in your condom. And so that's one thing. And yeah, there are guys out
were
there
you
that believe
when you said that before? You were referring to people like wearing condoms during oral sex.
yeah, there's some people who do.
I'm a very safe sex. Well, okay, okay. Some people wear condoms during oral sex.
Well, I mean,
And I guess that's the thing too. I mean, when you from the old school before, kind of like y'all was putting what like saran wrap over the before you
no, we was using clown balloons. You know, we
yeah.
didn't have Cerrero. Yeah, we was using clown balloons. But anyway, for you guys out there who think you're supposed to be wearing a Magnum, and you know damn well wrapping it around your scrotum is not part of what you're supposed to be doing. All right, it goes on your shaft, not around you. That's just so it can stay on.
A
All right.
blowjob with a condom on is just for show. you just
Well,
you just want to see how she looked while she doing it. That's all.
no, but think about it. You have pre stuff to come out. So if you
Yeah.
want to protect yourself or protect her, because you might want to kiss her afterwards. I don't know what y'all do when that's going on, but if you kiss her after, you see what I'm saying, or somebody else, she's doing somebody else, and she's not having a condom. You still can spread certain diseases. So I'm just
Right.
telling you guys. But anyway, this is a shame that as far as you think something like that would ever happen in America? That if a woman was to do something like that,
Well, I mean, they do it. It's all a matter of how do you catch them for it? How do you prove that they did it? They only was able to get her in Germany because one, they had a stealthing law on the books, and two, she admitted it. So the stealthing law on the books was for men. The guy challenged it and argued that it's the same thing. The court agreed it is the same thing. Plus, she confessed through WhatsApp, which is probably still, I don't know how WhatsApp worked, but maybe it was, recorded. They was able to pull it up, perhaps. And so she confessed on videotape. Like that, there it is right there. I see Uncle Stu down there in the back. But yeah, so I think that's the biggest reason why it worked. But I think it's still a tough case. I think it's
uh,
still a tough case.
well, the only way I believe you can test it, you got to blow it up before you put it on. But then will it be any good when you blow it up? So I mean, you can find out if she put
Yeah,
some
you
holes.
did.
Is it another thing too? I'm gonna just tell you guys. This is one thing I taught all my sons: never accept a condom from a person. Always have your on, because you can take a needle and stick little holes in it. You stick 50 holes in it, and you would
Mhm.
never be able to see it with the naked eye if a woman gives it to you. So always have your own condom if you go use it. I'm gonna let Uncle Stu come up and cook. I just wanted to say that we wanted to represent and use our voices for Kevin. We could do just change our emoji on one day and just go all around the internet, YouTube street, and make a statement.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. I don't knock that idea at all. But all right, J Speed,
Have a good one, man.
yeah, yeah. Hey, you
And
you
keep that
welcome.
grease off your face, man. I know you're trying to get the waves, but you got grease all around your
Yeah,
forehead,
yeah.
down on your
I
chin. You look
know.
like you've been eating chicken around the mouth. So you got to get that grease off your face before you get on camera, bro.
Yeah, man, I was in a rush this morning. I rolled out of
No,
bed. I ain't
it
get no
was like
sleep
that
last
yesterday
night.
too. So I'm just
Okay,
letting
well
you
then
know.
I ain't got no excuse.
Okay, all right.
It is what
Y'all,
it
yeah.
is. It's the
Y'all
lighting.
take.
It's the lighting.
Hey, Uncle Stu, what's going on?
What's
Uncle,
going on, JSP? How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. Uncle Stu did a good sermon. I'm gonna let him tell you about it a couple of days ago. Boy, he had him speaking in tongues and everything, and he was laying he was laying down the law. So I'm gonna let him tell you about it. Y'all have a good day, peace and love, and always strive for the truth.
All right, and you make sure you hold yourself to that same statement. Strive for the truth. All right, OG. Peace. All right. Uncle Stu in the building. What's going on? Welcome to the show.
What's going on, sir? What's going on? I'm kind of just getting back and trying to get some things in order because I don't know if I just laid my dad to rest.
I heard you mention that. I think you mentioned it when you came up on Obsidian's show. Yeah, that's what I heard you mention it. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry to hear that.
Hey, it's all right because he gave me all the education, the knowledge, and the wisdom that was needed. He stayed married to my mother 55 years. So he raised me, my sister, 2 different generations. He got to see his grandchildren graduate from college, get married, and live a successful life. Got to see me do the same thing. So, I'm just here to take what I know, take what he taught, and keep the ball moving forward.
Good stuff. Good stuff. But what you got? What prompted you to come up? Was it the first topic that I touched on with Vivica Fox, or this?
It is.
Yeah, I figured that was the one that brought you up. So yeah. So no, you.
First of all, let me say thank you to everybody in the chat. Appreciate the love, prayers, etc. Appreciate it. I'm going to say this because I do plan to speak on this on my platform probably tonight because I feel it is definitely needed. My encouraging word for brothers is be now the best version you can be and allow the actions of results to take its place. What do I mean by that? It simply means that no matter what words is being spat out, is being talked about, the fact of the matter is that they can't change your actions. They can't change what you do. They can only change what they do. So what do I mean by this? As far as like my content, I'm focusing down, narrowing down, and I'm going to keep pushing for Black brothers to raise the bar, raise the standard, know that you got a voice, speak your voice, know that you have a reason to have feelings and emotions, and that you use that energy in motion to do what you got to do. As I told a very close friend of mine, matter of fact, me and Intentional Millionaire was having a one-on-one, and he's a single brother. He's doing very well for himself. Like I told him, bruh, I'm now at the point where if you can't find that sister and you got to go out, do what you got to do to find the love that you want and that you desire for yourself. Because if these women did this to Kevin Samuels, what would they have done to you in a real relationship? You would have had them pillow talks and they would have treated you, got on social media and viscerated you. And I don't want to see another Black man viscerated like this ever again. I say to those that are content creators, be stronger in your content, be stronger in your education, level up the game, whether that's in your production, whether that's in your time, whether that's in your study, and recognize everybody is not going to believe what you got to say, when you got to say it, and how you got to say it. Some of us is able to be more animated than others. Some of us is more academia than others. But however that message of positive African-American leadership has to go, we have to do what we need to do. I wasn't as close to Kevin Samuels as many people I know that was. I heard some of his content, but I wasn't one that built my platform off of just his name. You're not going to see a bunch of at Kevin Samuels underneath it because I wanted to have my own voice and I wanted to have, my own thoughts and my own commentary when it comes to what is going on, not only on social media, but off social media. I had to give credit where credit is due. My oldest daughter was not necessarily a Kevin Samuels fan. She would have, she don't have a problem telling you that. But the moment she heard the report of this man's passing, she immediately called me to see if I knew about it, and then said, well, Daddy, let's pray for his mother and his daughter because this man had a family. So if my daughter
You raised a
had
good one. You
yeah.
raised a good one, man. That's nice.
You see what I'm saying? So my daughter did not wish death. She knew, and I said it on my platform, she knew that I did like Kevin Samuels. I like what he had to say. But I came by the way of Kevin Samuels through TikTok for people who didn't like him. You know, so you can thank the haters for me knowing who he was. I think that, you know, instead of everybody saying, well, who's going to be the next Kevin Samuels? Instead of looking for that aspect of leadership, be the best version of yourself and be the better man that you can be. You know, don't just sit here and say, well, you know, we looking for a leader. Let's not get into the Jesus effect. Be the effect that you need to be for yourself, for your community, and for your home. You know, that's where I come from in this whole thing. Do I like the fact that they did this? Well, heck, we got historical proof of stuff like this. You know, when you know, if you try to compare, you had people that hated Malcolm X. You had people that hated Dr. Martin Luther King. You know, he split the Southern Baptist Church, so you know he wasn't the most loved individual. The first time on his life was what? A black woman that said he was evil. So we know that these things go down in history, so we shouldn't really be shocked by what is being done, what is being said. We know that sometimes in my community, and I love my black brothers and sisters, just to, you know, put it out there, I did marry black women, and I do have black children and black daughters. You know, so understand that I don't want nobody trying to say, oh, he ain't about his black mama and all this other crazy garbage. The fact of the matter is, if they want to eat ham hocks and pig feet and have high blood pressure, leave them alone. I've said it in the beginning, you can't change people. People have to change people. You can't make a woman do what you need her to do. Move on. Don't waste your energy running into their chat. Let them be there. Let them be there.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. Have you ever seen? I was just thinking about this while you were talking. Have you ever seen any other situation with other groups of people? Because, you know, we like to talk about our people here. You know, black folks. Right. That's what we talk about here. Have you ever seen a situation with other groups of people, other races, where a man died and this type of vitriol was out for him? Now, I do remember there was a couple people that, like, I think when Pat Robertson died, I know there was a couple media heads that worked privately. You know, they weren't on like CNN or MSNBC. They had their own little private podcast, and they kicked some dirt on the grave. So I have seen it, but what have you seen in your years of observation with this? You know, you've been around a minute, even though it's probably more pronounced now due to social media. You know, we can see what everybody got to say, but have you seen anything similar to this when it comes to other groups of people?
Not at the high rate of vitriol that I see today. You know, I've seen the sprinkles, but not in the outright vitriol. As a matter of fact, it's ironic because a lot of people don't know all the Bushes that took the White House. And whenever, you know, Papa Bush was not one of the most high level of Bushes that everybody praised, but when he passed away, they still gave him the praise and the honor that he was given. Same thing with Ronald Reagan. You know, he was loved by some and he wasn't loved by others, but they didn't give him the vitriol that he received. You brought up Donald Trump. I doubt very seriously that if he was to go, he would get the outright vitriol. I
don't know. I think Donald Trump will get Donald Trump will get that work.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to get the work, but at the same time, I think there's going to be so much pushback on that work.
Yeah.
You know, where here you got to remember this man is getting it from mainstream media too. There's a difference between social media and mainstream media. And we have to make those distinctions. See, so when you're getting it from mainstream media, when you as an actor or an artist or somebody that's a public figure, and you can't have your First Amendment right just to say, hey, I like this individual, or I like some of the things this individual had to say, then your voice is now being silenced to the point where your constitutional rights has now been violated. And with him, with Kevin Samuels, now we have to break down, do you really understand the true meaning of karma? I'm a theologian. Are we Christians or are we Indian? Because karma comes from an Indian philosophy. And it comes from the life of how someone lived. So if we use the word karma, I think we need to ask these wannabe Christians, or let me take that word back. We need to ask Christian folk, then what karma did Jesus receive?
Uh-oh.
If we want to use that terminology about karma. So now if you start using this and you start going down that rabbit hole, we have to now ask, well, what karma did Jesus receive? And if you go down that rabbit hole, then what karma did the first Africans that came to this country receive? Because now you got to say, well, did we do something wrong that would have caused us to be in slavery 400 years? What did we do wrong that caused us to be in this crazy 100-year of so-called development? What did we do wrong? So now if you want to use the word, let's use it and let's put it all out there for us to get a proper understanding.
You hit it on the head exactly. I made that point in my opening monologue that people, black folks mostly, I think, from what I see, just be throwing out karma in whenever it fits their narrative. If it fits their narrative, they want to use karma. I use the situation, the hypothetical example of a 10-year-old girl who was, assaulted even sexually, in the worst way. I don't even want to, but yeah, I use that example. Are we going to say that it was karma there? But you pulling Jesus out on them. I know that definitely hits home on the karma folks. That definitely has to hit home. Like the karma is nonsense.
Exactly. And then who becomes the judge?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Have you survived? People talk about, well, he didn't pay child support. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. He didn't do this. But it's real ironic to me that we're arguing what he didn't do. But my question is what you claim, is it true? Because I can show you many men, including myself, who may have not have had the best relationship with their child, but you don't know the story behind that relationship. And then we don't know what the ending results was. He could have kept his child totally out of this public arena to protect her. But
wait, hold on. We got a live one. Okay, she's saying you put out negative energy, it will get returned on you. Okay,
great. Let's go with that. I'm so glad you said that. So are you telling me that it's a positive energy to get on a live platform and condemn this man when his mother is still alive? You talking to a man who lost a son. So is that the positive energy? I just want to know. Break it down to me. Tell me what's positive about spitting negative energy. So let me see if I got this straight. So saying for 5 years, this man is telling black men to work 60 hours a week, get their money up, get their management skills up, get their health right, get their smell goods right, look right, eat right, be right, survive cancer. So that was okay. But for the 1.5 years that he spoke to black women and said, hey, black women, how about you don't really always run around wearing fake hair, fake eyes, fake nails, fake attitude with a fake God talking about you want a real man. Make it make sense to me. Tell me where that's positive. Tell me where it's positive that his mother had to learn about the death of a son through social media, and the first reports that came out was all negative. So if you call yourself a woman and you call yourself a mother, is the way you want to hear about your child? It's funny to me how we got mothers that will go to prison to see their son who were what? Murderers, drug dealers, destruction of the black community. They'll love on him until he comes home. But we have a man that never sold drugs to the black community, never murdered the black community, never harmed physically anybody in the black community. And yet we say he get karma. He gets the evil. My religion tells me that when you die, you go to everlasting life. So I'm challenging this young lady. Tell me the negative energy. Is the negative energy telling you, hey, let's not be overweight. Let's get our health back right. I'm confused. We
got another one from her. She said, I never condemn that man. I have nothing to do with that. But if you're responding to what was said about karma by saying you put out negative energy, it comes back to you in the context that we just previously laid out, you were more or less in alignment with what Vivica Fox was saying when she said that it was karma. The karma came back to bite. And she said something along the lines of when karma come back ain't always friendly, basically like that. And that's why Kevin Samuels, that she gestured, killed over and died. Like that's literally what she said. So if you're with the whole karma argument in terms of that, then yeah, you are with it. You ain't no way around that. You ain't got to say, okay, hold on. Now she's coming back. He said, I never condemned that man. So you're not talking about me. We're talking about the karma aspect of it that you agreed with, and we're just simply making a point that karma aspect of it is stupid. It is very stupid. I could pull up videos of, there's plenty of people who were, let's say, killed by the police. We could pull out a track record of all the negative things that they did. We could pull up the Cocktails with Queens with Vivica Fox and the three other women up there, where they're basically doing a memorial service in support of this person who has a track record of criminality. Okay, they've done practically memorial services for those guys. Nowhere in that memorial service did she ever say, this career criminal who ended up getting shot by the police, even though he probably never done nothing wrong that particular day where he got shot on video. We have a track record of a lot of things that he's done wrong. Him getting shot by that police, that's karma. No, she wouldn't apply it there, but she will apply it on somebody who had online social media talking points that offended her because she's over the certain age and single and got a kid and wear a bunch of weave and 10 pounds of makeup and yeah. So there it is. That's the problem with the whole thing. That's the problem with that whole thing.
I think it's funny because the thumbnail that I have is what someone in your chat. I got the thumbnail, and the thumbnail says they love me more than you. I got Kevin Samuels on one side and George Zimmerman on the other. We never went this vitriol for George Zimmerman. He took a life. We're going visceral for a man that never took a life.
Damn, that was your thumbnail?
That's my thumbnail. Because I want to show people.
I got to go back to your channel. I don't think I'm getting your alerts because I haven't seen none of your. Let me make sure YouTube ain't unsubscribed me from you. I haven't seen none of your stuff lately.
Yeah, I've seen the same thing when I've been on other people's channels too. Where it's like somehow I'm not getting their notifications.
Okay, well, no, I see the problem right here. See, I'm subscribed to you, but I don't got the bell banged. I just clicked all on the bell. So y'all do what I just did. Go make sure you subscribe to Uncle Stu and click on the bell, put it on all notifications. So make sure that you make sure that you subscribe and bang the bell. But all right, go ahead. You got it.
Right. So, my whole argument and my premise is, are you offended because of what he said? And the question becomes, then if you didn't want to hear what he had to say, turn him off. You didn't have to go to his panel. You didn't have to go to his chat. You didn't have to do any of those things. So evidently, if what he said offended you, maybe you need to look within you and find out exactly what it is he said that offended you. Because I guarantee you, I don't go to certain places because I don't care what they have to say.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not going to make my life better and make my life move up and come up, then I don't need to be digesting your content.
Yeah.
Omega said,
real quick. Okay. SKC in the building. I was supposed to be hitting you last night. I had a weird night last night. Very little, but anyway, I'll be hitting you with that email today or tonight, unless something weird happened. But all right, all right, go ahead. You was about to respond to somebody in the chat room.
Yeah. Can you pull up Omega? I was trying to understand. I don't know if he was talking to me or talking to someone in the.
You're not understanding human malice, bro. I don't know who he's referring to.
Okay.
Omega just be throwing out random collections of words sometimes. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes he adds to the conversation. Sometimes he just tells us whatever random thoughts are in his head. Either way it go. I'm with it. I'm with it either way. But Ash L in the building says, how does karma work against the BW that are responsible for the 30 million deletions? I'm
gonna answer that. What do you think is just happening in the Supreme Court? I told you, let your actions speak your words. Don't let your words just fall. Let your actions speak. So what's happening? I said it before. This court case, when it originally came out, was an overreach by the Supreme Court. This court case is now being seen and investigated by all nationalities. It's not just a white thing. It's not just a black thing. It's an American male thing. And there's a lot of people who are coming together and having real intellectual discourse as to what this case is really about. What are the truths what's in this case? So I think this is really the backlash. We're in an economic situation. The backlash you're going to see is all this money that the government gave away, sooner or later got to be paid back. And the backlash is what you're seeing right now in the economy. I don't speak finance, but I do speak economics. And so you can't just give millions and trillions of dollars away to people and it doesn't get paid back. So you're seeing it right now. People's going to have to, sometimes you can overreach in policy. You can overreach in politics. You can overreach in so many different areas. And when that overreach happens, there's going to be a swift flashback. That's why you'll see the government 1 minute will be extremely conservative. But if the conservative movement go too far to the right, this country has a way of smacking you right back to the center. So we're a more center-right country. But if we go too far to the left, this country has a way of snapping it back. And that's what you're seeing right now. You're seeing more of the snapback.
Yeah. It goes without saying. I think I don't even gotta interrogate your exact position on Roe v. Wade. I think I know exactly where you stand.
Yes, sir.
That one. A weird thing, because if I understand right, you're a Muslim. That's correct.
I was a Muslim. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was a Muslim for over 16 years. I mean, I still have love for the religion. So anybody that's a Muslim, I still, understand Ramadan, and I've done all my 5 pillars when it comes to that. So yeah, I have a strong background in that.
Yeah, no, that it was interesting. When I thought you were a Muslim all this time, but you be going off, you sounding like a Baptist preacher when you going off, sounding off with it.
Yeah, I gotta slow that down now. I was told on one side is good, on the other side is bad, but it comes out.
You said pork chops was calling you. You had to get some pork chops.
Nah, I still don't eat pork.
Hey, I'm more or less. I don't want to make a declaration, but I haven't had it in a little bit either. I did like a slow, gradual step away. Now I think I'm officially done.
Right.
I think I'm officially done with it. This, like, I gotta say it. This Kevin Samuels, like his death, and before that it was David Carroll. It's It's waking me up. It's waking me up, man. It's the health. We got to get that together. We got to get that together. I've been eating really well for the last week. I'll say last
I
week.
believe it. I mean, we do. It is definitely a topic that needs to be explored, and not just explored, done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not just shouldn't be just a talking point on somebody's platform, and it's something that we just got to do. And get a better understanding of it. I mean, if anything, we definitely still need to have mental health treatment, but at the same time, we need to go ahead and get our bodies right. I'm the first to raise my hand and say that. So, I'm working on my health. This is before, the passing of Kevin Samuel. So, I feel if I'm going to speak about it, then I got to live about it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm going to have more health conscious content coming down the pipeline. I don't know how I'm going to do it or how I'm going to work it in. But
Right.
that is something that we gotta get together, man. We gotta get that worked out. Man, I'm beyond. But it's crazy, and I know you feeling it more than me. Like I turn 40 next month, so
Right.
I'm at an age where it's like it's no more playing around with this thing. It's
Well,
no more playing around with it. And I know you got to be thinking that. I mean, if people your age,
yes.
younger in some cases, they dropping like flies for health reasons. So yeah,
I'm gonna say I think within the last 6 months I've had. Now I don't know if KS was. I was always told he was 52. I don't know where all the 57, 56
I have
come
no idea where that came from either. But
Okay.
but every according to him and everybody I know that knows him, he was 53.
Okay, so him and Obsidian, they're both younger than me, and I could definitely say within the last, I would say 5 months, 6 months minimum, I done seen so many people that just hit my age and didn't even make it to my age, and was dropping, whether it was heart situation, blood pressure, all kinds of health issues. RM says 53. Yeah, because I'll be 55 in July. So yes, most definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, he celebrated. I know him and Obsidian are the same age. That I've always known. Just one of them.
It was a
I
couple of
think
months
Kevin.
apart.
Yeah. Just a couple months, same age, couple months apart. That's what I've always known. It blew me away, and I had no idea what the media was talking about. I mean, I guess it's just a shining example of how the media gets everything wrong. When
Right.
it's a situation that you're close to, you always looking at it like, that fact is not right. That fact is not right. So then that
Right.
makes you think when you're watching the news on any other day or reading something in the media in any other time. Okay, how much of that is not right? How much is that do they got certain details
Absolutely.
wrong? So yeah, it makes you not even trust what it's talking about. Something as simple as somebody's age, if they can't get that right. So that
Right. I mean, the story in and of itself. I mean, when it broke, I was just getting ready to start a live. I had shut mine down and went to Shannon Ross. My pain in the back scene is I've been dealing with everybody that really knew him as a close, very close, where I'm dealing with, again, praying for O'Shea, praying for Obsidian, praying for, the lead attorney, MTR, Dennis Sperling. All these men physically knew him and touched him and can have conversation. So even when people want to say, well, his platform said this, yeah, but we don't know the man in the back scene. I can't sit up there and say, well, I know what he did in the back channels. I didn't have that kind of connection. But, for those that did, I feel hurt for y'all that knew him in the back channels. I know other content creators in the back, and who they are on their platform and who they are, behind the scenes is two totally different people.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's definitely true. I mean, I've had some conversations with him in the back, but I mean, that's kind of with everybody, when we in this stream right now, we may talk for, we may chop it up for a little bit behind the scenes, but no, as far as I never met him personally, never had, phone conversations with him or or nothing
Right.
like that. So, but I saw most of my interactions. I mean, it was a moment earlier on in my show before he blew up, and even a little bit while he was blowing up, he was a semi-regular on my show. So, I definitely talked to him a lot and got to know him from that perspective. But again, it's a online type of relationship.
Right. It's a
So
total
yeah,
different. And I agree with what somebody said. I mean, I don't think none of us, I know I can't work that way, working the hours he worked. I mean, you're talking about doing live 5 days a week, 2 totally different platforms, and then taking the vitriol from the public that you had to take and keep it and still keep a level head. That's not easy. That's not an easy walk. That's not an easy walk.
yeah, no doubt. The Clue channel in the building. He says the Style OG did a great tribute to him. Oh yeah, I would check that out. I remember when Kevin Samuels first came on the scene, when I had no idea what the hell an image consultant was, when I started just looking at some of Kevin Samuels' content, and I was like, so this image consulting thing is a thing. Okay, and I eventually found out, okay, it's other people that more or less do what Kevin Samuels do, what his channel was before he, started talking about the things that he was talking about up until the end. So I found a couple other people that did the same thing, and yeah, the Style OG, like you said, is one of the ones that I found, and he has a big channel doing that as well. So shout out to him. I didn't see his tribute. I didn't watch a whole lot. I mean, I watched enough of them. I'll say that I watched enough of the tributes, and those are the videos that I like the most. I've done some live streams regarding Kevin Samuels. I kind of those never feel right. I like it. I like it when you think about it in advance and do a planned pre-record type of deal, and make sure you got your thoughts and everything together and strike the right tone and say the right things, because it's easy to fly off the handle, people saying crazy stuff, and then you feel like I don't know if I'm doing a good job of honoring the dead right now, and we having a wild wacky live stream with his name on it. But so yeah, I do like the well thought out tribute videos. I tried to do that with my video called Remembering Kevin Samuels. I tried to make sure I saw
that one. I saw that one. I didn't want to really do something like that because I felt I wouldn't be able to give the true honor that is due, being that I didn't really use any of his content to, speak about what he said, or, I didn't really have that interaction with him. So I'm not going to all of a sudden, now that he's passed, just throw his name up so I can get it all into the algorithm and all this other crazy stuff.
That's fair.
The only reason why I'm kind of doing this reaction now is really helping other men to kind of get out the fog, get out the anger, and kind of get back focused to doing the work, and not really, spend that energy necessarily saying, well, we're going to go after the women that did vitriol to him, do it the opposite way, instead of showing the vitriol, just keep doing the work and let your work speak for you.
Yeah, no, definitely. Purdue in the building. He says KS is in the 1987 Millwood High School yearbook.
If I'm not mistaken, the Millwood High School is in Oklahoma. I was stationed in Lawton, so I kind of know a little bit about Oklahoma.
Sound like you got it right. Because Kevin Samuels was originally from Oklahoma. So excuse me. So yeah, no, that sounds about right. But shout out to everybody in the building. Yeah, he said Style OG is cool. Shout out to everybody in the building. Appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure y'all hit that like button. So like, what do you got? Since I got you here, might as well go and chop it up about a few things. What you got next? What you got next going on coming up, like on your channel? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting back on point. So I'm trying to do with all the small content, what the big content creators say we're supposed to be doing, fixing our thumbnails and excuse me, and getting our titles right. I'm going to probably be doing more videos versus live streams. I do have your partner that does your introduction. You know, he invited me onto his platform, so I have like 2 people that wants me to collab with them on their platform. So I definitely agree, you know, to do it. I just told him give me at least a week. Let me get some stuff together, and then I'm just going to be doing more interviews. But right now, I'm trying to niche down my platform. So I'm trying to get what they say, understanding your audience, you know, and want to try to do more commentary on social and political issues. It's probably going to swing a little bit more sociologically to the right, just to try to become more of an educator on my platform, you know, as well as just an interviewer. But, you know, I want to expand that interviewing process. But again, trying to get a better understanding of what the audience wants and what the market wants.
Right on, right on. You closing in on 2,000 subs, so you know you got it rolling. I know it feels like it's going slow, but no, it takes some people a lot longer to get 2,000 subs. Trust me, like it's it happened fast for me, but for a lot of people, getting up to 2,000 subs, that's a long uphill battle. So you rolling pretty good. Shout out to Dallas Cowboys. Shout out to Dallas Cowboys in the building. Do appreciate you coming through with the super chat. Dr. Thunder in the building says Uncle Stu, you available to do my Thunder's Thoughts program on this Thursday at 9:30 p.m. EST.
Tell him I'm gonna drink 2 cups of coffee and I'll definitely be hanging out with Dr. Thunder. You know, definitely, sure. Let's see, what you got this Thursday? Let's make it next Thursday because I got somebody else that's trying to grab me for Thursday at that time slot. Let me reach out to you, Dr. Thunder. I believe, because Bernard is the guy that did your intro.
Brother Xavier, Prophet of Thought.
Yeah. He wants me, I think. Well, I know we can't do it this Thursday. It'll be next Thursday. So yeah, let me see what Xavier's date is for Thursday. And after I do Xavier, then definitely me and you can definitely get down and rock.
Yeah.
Dr. Thunder, he came to my platform and we had a good conversation.
Oh yeah, definitely. Dr. Thunder is definitely a good brother. Definitely a good brother. But the link is in the chat if anybody else want to come on up. I've covered the 2 topics today. I don't know if you want to touch on the other one about they locking the woman up for poking them holes in the condoms. I don't know if you want to get on that one. Yeah,
I will hold off on that one.
Old cat like you, like condoms. What are condoms?
What? we didn't know about that until like the 90s, you know, like, oh, you mean that other disease is out? All right, now we got to put it on. You know, we're still working on that pull-out method, you know?
Yeah. And y'all never mastered it. Y'all never mastered
we didn't master that. I got daughters to prove it.
Purdue. Now I get why you said that. You said if he was class of 1987, he would be 50. Gotcha. Okay, I'm slow. I didn't figure out why you were why exactly you were saying that he was in an 87 yearbook. So there it is right there. But all right, we got Judge Zilla the Beast.
Boogie, yeah, man. You know, I was throwing them lambskins in my pocket.
Man. I was about to shut it down, but Judge Zilla the Beast coming on through. I'm gonna bring him on up. But
okay.
All right, Uncle Stu, I'm gonna let you roll on out. And bring Judge Zilla the Beast up. Yeah, thanks for coming through. Y'all make sure you go and sub to Uncle Stu. There she goes. You got it right there. Make sure you go to sub to Uncle Stu, old man on the block.
All right, now y'all have a good one. Peace.
All right now. Judge Zilla the Beast in the building. What's going on?
Hey, what's happening, man? Sorry, it took me a minute. I had to wait on a call and complete the call and before I could jump up here.
Oh no, you good.
as far as the first topic, I they didn't have this vitriol they don't have this vitriol for Zimmerman. They don't have this vitriol for Jason Pope. They don't. Again, all as you brought up, all these events that karma can be applied to. None of them are applicable, but this situation is applicable. This is what I was trying to say, which I said poorly yesterday, or I believe it was yesterday or the day before, whichever, when I was up here. As a person who was not a fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have this level of vitriol. You can appreciate that this is a human being that had families that are going through a terrible time right now in dealing with this.
Mm-hmm.
All this animosity, he's done. He can't do. He is no longer able to do what you didn't want him to do. Again, his crime being he had a call-in radio show in which people had to find him, had to call into him, and ask his opinion about them and their circumstances, which they provided. He was not chasing people down. He was not going to every black woman's YouTube channel and saying, "Bitch, you ain't shit."
You'd think he was knocking on doors like Jehovah Witness, like he was. You'd think he was like the Mormons.
He didn't have a YouTube channel that had him walking in the streets of Atlanta, Detroit, Chicago, Florida, saying, "Bitch, you ain't shit. Bitch, you ain't shit. Explain to me why you ain't shit, bitch." That's not what he had. You had to voluntarily be a part of his thing for him to say anything about you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just generalities and his opinions. But those people, with their thing with the karmic event. So I think I put in the chat, a young little MC serial killer doesn't deserve it for karma. But he does. Make it make sense.
I was trying to remember the exact specific times, and I was also trying not to say too much bad about the dead. But okay, we know that. Okay, for example, George Floyd. Okay, what happened that day obviously wasn't warranted, but we do know there's a history where this man has done horrible things. I wonder, do people fix their mouth? The karma folks, I wonder, do they fix their mouth? Seeing as there's a whole golden statue somewhere of George Floyd, I wonder, do they fix their mouths to say what happened to him was karma? Well, if you say that it wasn't there, then don't apply it anywhere. But people apply it when they want to. They apply it when it fits their narrative, when their feelings were hurt. Aha, karma came back and got him. Why? Because he offended me. Never mind the person who you make the karma argument on, who did all kinds of horrendous things, So that's the overall wholesale goofiness of that karma argument.
Remember the YouTube that faked her suicide?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. I think it's Sansaray, something like that.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember. I was trying not to promote her, but I know you're talking about.
How many black men, right, were out there saying, "Yeah, that's her karma. Yeah, that's what she get. That's the ancestors coming for her."
I heard somebody say he don't care. That's about it. That's most I heard. I did hear somebody say, "I don't care. People die every day. Hoes die every day. Whatever. I don't care." I did hear somebody say that.
And so I'll attribute a lot to this, to clout chasing, view generation, yada, 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 right? But this well is going to run dry at the end of the week because this is what happens. And we can't always sit and dwell on, on the people who go wherever they go when they don't, when they're done being here. And so that was my main point that I guess expressed poorly the other day was just because you're not a fan of, just because you don't like it doesn't mean that you have to behave with such a lack of humanity, or I won't even say compassion, more compunction. Like, there are living people who who affected in his life, and regardless of whether we like it or not, or anybody likes it or not, people who didn't know him who were affected by this, and all of this is completely and 100% unnecessary. And that's just where that's at. Surprised to hear that OG Speed, man, might be having a barbecue, but later on tonight for his cape and attire. I don't know if he's going to put it. He didn't say he was going to bury. He didn't say he was going to cook up the steed though. So
well, I have a theory on that. We're gonna go to Dr. Thunder in a little bit. My theory is sometimes when OGJ Speed leaves the house, he hops in the taxi cab, and then he gets out the taxi cab, and his cape gets stuck in the door, and then the cab drives off, and he's like, "Hey, hey, hey," and then just drive off with his cape. So I think that's what happened this morning. It happens at least once or twice every 2 weeks. You end up being caught outside without his cape on. I think that's more or less what happened today. Yeah. So anyway.
yeah.
Anyway, Dr.
Caught the elevator doors, right?
Yeah, he got caught in the elevator door. But I like the taxi cab example because the cab could pull off. You can't go. You can't save it if that is gone. But Dr. Thunder in the building, like I said before, I had a great time over there on Case Closed. Real quick before I even throw it to you, the Case Closed. Y'all only do that on your channel, or I mean, y'all alternate the channels y'all do that on. Y'all do it on Ike's channel sometimes.
Yeah, we've been alternating between my channel and Ike's channel.
That's what I thought.
When we started it off, we were doing it on Solo's channel,
right?
And then we started rotating it around the different channels. Now it's between my channel and Ike's channel. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So it'll be on Ike's channel this Sunday.
Perfect. All right, cool. Now, I definitely want to be there. Had a great time. But real quick before I go to you, Charles Merchant in the building. He says, "Why are we so surprised that these sociopaths are celebrating this death? They fight for the right to murder their." I'm trying to trigger that. Murk. Fight for the right to murk their own offspring. It should be expected to see them dance during a time of sorrow. Thank you for the chat. Appreciate that. But Dr. Thunder, you have the floor. You have the mic. What's on your mind?
Yeah, good show today. It is. I did a stream that ended, seems like a little bit before you started yours this morning, and it was just an impromptu stream. And the thumbnail was a picture of Martin and Malcolm and Kevin. And
they don't like that. They don't like that.
Yeah. And the name of it was "They Hated Martin and Malcolm." They're going to hate him too. And see, the thing is that it's all about silencing the black male voice. It was about that with Martin, that got him killed. And then when he died, there was all kinds of negative stuff that was being said. The same thing about Malcolm. And they were even saying that he somehow dishonored the honorable Elijah Muhammad, and they were going into all kinds of stuff. And so that got both of those guys killed. They hated them so much. But now they are pretty universally celebrated. And what I think is interesting is that, first of all, Martin and Malcolm were ministers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were very traditional, and they came from an era that was, it was common, but they were even traditional for that era. So many of the things that Kevin was saying, Martin and Malcolm would agree with. They would wholeheartedly endorse about modesty, about, you know, making better decisions, with mate selection. They would say the same exact stuff. And
Yeah.
so I just think it's an interesting sort of parallel between these three figures. And of course, they're dancing on Kevin's grave, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absurd. It doesn't make any sense. Besides the fact that if you see, hate is not the opposite of love. Apathy is the opposite of love. If they really didn't care and thought he was meaningless, they would have no response. Their hateful response actually shows how connected with him they actually are, because hate binds you to who you hate. And so anyhow, thanks for entertaining my thoughts.
Oh no, no doubt, no doubt. Anytime. What was we had an interesting discussion over there on Case Closed. Started out with Roe v. Wade, then it started out with it ended talking about the financial abortion. And I don't
Oh
even
yeah,
remember if you got to give your take on that. I just know I said
yeah,
I don't like it because it gives guys the incentive. The guys who are reckless out there. I mean, the guy who's not reckless, he doesn't get no incentive from that. But the guy who's already out there reckless, he has more incentive to be reckless.
yeah,
And that's why I don't like it. But at the same time, if we over incentivize women, I'm not about, handcuffing the guys, but then giving the women every, opportunity and incentive to be reckless. So I'm like, hey, they can let them have that tool in their tool belt, or just take away their incentive. So
right,
that's where I was at with that, and that was more or less my argument. Any little thing we could get. Anything that we could get, I'll take it, even though that's not one that I'm going to benefit from. I don't like it. But what was your overall thoughts on that?
yeah.
I know you're against it, but what's your thoughts on just the simple fact that they have every incentive and safety net to be reckless? What's your thoughts on balancing it on the other side?
Well, it's tough. Of course, the
Yeah.
financial abortion thing is a reaction to the way that the system is. And in general, I think if you start to right size the way that the system is set up, I think that you'd have less reason for this said financial abortion. But
Hold on, wait. What do you
my
mean by that?
response on the
If
show,
you start to right, hold on. You said if you start to right side, what?
right size. So, for instance, by taking away, I mean, you said it on the show, by taking, this is one step.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one step in a process of sort of rolling back certain things that have gotten out of control by, this whole Roe v. Wade thing. So, if that does actually have the effect of reducing the number of abortions, as it were, then now we're not really talking about a balanced issue on both sides. Now we're not really talking about financial abortion as a way to balance abortion. But what I said on the show was, and I actually just cited Dave Chappelle in his comment about, if they have the right to kill him, do I have the right not to, not to have anything to do with them? And and then his question was, and if you think that that's wrong, maybe we're both wrong. Which I thought was an interesting addition to the statement. He's in disagreement of both positions. He thinks that both are bad. He just found a funny way to say it.
Yeah.
So
no, that was well said. If you think, and that's sort of the argument, like the financial abortion argument. There's no other way around it. It's a counterpunch. That argument only exists because abortion is legal. So that's the argument that exists.
That's actually,
Judge, you were I'm throwing it to you. Yeah, you were trying to jump in. Go ahead, you got it.
Well, that's actually okay. By the terminology financial abortion, you would assume that, but that's only one of the reasons for the pushing of that, right? It's the no fault adoption, no responsibility adoption issues as well. These women can put their children up for adoption without having to maintain them. These women can leave these children with family members and not be financially responsible. Even signing over guardianship, right? So the financial abortion, though it's termed in that nature, the abortion is only the right to abortion is only one of the arguments that stipulate the unevenness of that equation. So that's all. I just want to kind of, because that's not the only. There are several mitigating factors in which the mother of the child is not held financially responsible at all, not even counting the child support that's not paid by and large by women who are ordered for it to be paid. Like the majority of women who are ordered to pay child support don't pay their like there are several other arguments besides just the abortion argument.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Judge, I never got your because I had the show. It's like 9 people up here on the panel. What's your I think I know what your take is. What's your overall take on this whole Roe v. Wade being overturned thing?
I never expected it to happen
because I got to drive. Yeah. So I'll see y'all later. Thanks.
Peace,
I'll
Dr.
be listening.
Thanks for coming through. All right, cool.
Peace.
And Uncle Stu got a message for you right there. Hopefully he read it. Shout out to Uncle Stu. Appreciate the super chat. But yeah, go ahead.
I never expected in my lifetime that it would ever happen, and if it didn't happen in my lifetime, I didn't expect it would ever happen. Effectively, what does it do? It takes the federal apparatus out. Still leaves the state. The state apparatus, if it were state in quote state, right? Apparatus, and to be able to do what they feel like they want to do. And maybe reduces federal funding institution availability, but. Look, I am I guess you would call me pro-life, but not from the standard that most people are pro-life. Mm-hmm. I don't come from it from a religious position. I'm no religious fundamentalist nor zealot. It's not an ethical position. It's not even a moral position. It's a state apparatus position. Mm-hmm. If I, with my size and my strength, uppercut a woman in her uterus when she's pregnant, she loses that child. In at least 37 states, I get a certain charge.
Yeah.
So, but if she walks into a clinic or a back alley or comes of any other means, an apothecary, and does it, there's no, that's not equal rights and less, right? That scale need that in what we say is true about this nation, that scale needs to be balanced. So if it's illegal for me to perform these actions, then like just the fact that you have different genitals should not make it legal, in my estimation. Again, not a religious argument, not an ethical. It's just a balance of these apparatus that we use.
Yeah.
So, like if white guy gets free soup, then dark guy should get free soup.
Mm-hmm.
Arguments.
Yeah. And just to be sure, you were not advocating for uppercutting women in the uterus. You're just
I wasn't advocating against it.
If they made the laws fair, you would be allowed to do it, though, if they made it fair.
Well, either I would or I wouldn't.
Right. But right now.
So it's effectively Schrodinger's uppercut.
Right.
Schrodinger's uppercutted uterus, But as far as the topic that you had brought up on your marquee there,
yeah, quick, because I was going to shut it down at the 2-hour mark.
Okay,
be quick. Yeah.
So after 70 years, finally, there is one single precedent against 10,000 other precedents that tampering with a condom that results or with the intent for the woman to become pregnant by the woman doing the tampering is finally lightly criminalized, huh? That's the rate of progress.
Yeah. Yes, we
we, do,
can.
we can literally estimate that there's probably in 70 years, we can conservatively estimate that at least 1 million children have been created from this method.
Yeah, RM, start posting my last video, my pre-record. But go ahead.
Right? It's over 70 years. We can pretty much say at least at bare minimum 1 million children have been the product of this action. Because how long have we how you knew growing up, right? Somebody pulled you to the side, never trust a woman with a condom.
Right. No doubt.
If a woman hands you the condom, always have your condom.
I'm delighted when they reach for them, though. That sort of lets me. I mean, it does tell me that okay, she does have a regimen. She keeps them over there. Okay, that's great. But I brought my own. But I'm glad you have some. I'm not going to use them, but I am glad you have some. I get a little worried about the chicks that it's just like condom. What? What are those? I'm like, okay, I don't. Now I go back to my statement about when OG was talking about oral sex with a condom on, and I said that's just for show. If somebody's doing that, you just want to see what they you want to see how they look down there, but you're not getting anything out of it. But I like that she has some there. That makes me feel a little more comfortable.
It's like when she reaches into her purse to act like she's going to pay for half of the dinner.
Yeah, that was a nice gesture. It was nice. Yeah. That was nice. That was sweet. But yeah.
But yeah. It just only 70 years. Only 70 years that in my frame of reference, probably longer. But just 70 years to finally say, yeah, if you do this. But look, here's the crazy thing is. All right, let's play a real quick game of hypothetical. Okay, a thought experiment. She does this, right? She succeeded in her outcome, right? And she got pregnant. She gets found guilty. She serves her 6 months, and then comes out and files for child support, which she receives. Oh, there's precedent for that too. How many of these teachers have done the same thing to the students that they've molested?
I just had a horrible thought in my head. Is that after she got pregnant by the student, she probably was sitting there thinking, I'm assuming like it hadn't fully got out there yet, but she knows it's a good chance she's pregnant by her student. She's probably thinking, I gotta really be a good teacher going forward for the rest of the year, get little Johnny a good education so he can have a good job someday and pay me child support. She made sure he did really good in math. You're going to go into STEM and you're going to do this.
So on top of that, here's the thing. Guess what I jumped over there that I was hoping you would catch?
What's that?
She maintains primary custody of a child that she conceived through the act of a felony action.
Yeah. No, you're missing it, Omega Dress. You can't just give him straight A's. Okay, giving him straight A's mean he has the knowledge. No, she has to actually teach him. She has to make sure that he is a math wizard. She wants to make sure that kid gets into Harvard. That's no. She can't just pass him on through. No. She gotta pull out all the stops to make sure that he's the most well-educated, smartest kid in the class. But
yeah. Primary custody. She gets awarded primary custody off default status, and she gets child support. from the commission of a felony act for which she served 6 months. Now, I don't know. I remember people back in the day saying, when cats would run like Bernie Madoff type things, look, you're telling me I can get, let's see, let's do the math on this. I can get $200,000-$300,000, maybe more, given if he's a good earner, right? If he comes up to one of those CEO positions, CFO positions, she can get a lot of money, right? And all I got to do is serve 6 months.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's not that we go down this rabbit hole. Really not a bad deal.
And that's if she has to do all of the whole 6 months. What if it's 85?
She might get out at 90 days.
Yeah.
She might get out at 30 days.
10 days and 10 days and an ankle monitor.
Yeah.
Right?
All right.
So again, there are books. So we have a precedent, but how toothless is this precedent really?
Yeah. That's an interesting one. But we got to get up out of here. We got at the 2-hour mark. Like I said, I got 0 sleep last night, so I was going to do a shorter show today. So we going to get up on out of here. But don't just back out of here. Click on my last pre-recorded video if you didn't see it. I went in just a little bit on Boyce Watkins doing the same thing Derrick Jackson did, using Kevin Samuels' death to pander to black women. It's getting bad out there. It's getting bad out there. They're it's like Mufasa died, and they're like Scar and the hyenas moving in on Pride Rock. They trying like that's what they're doing right now. Trying to reclaim
the best advertisement for SYSBM that's available right now.
Man. But all right, fellas. Yeah, man. Yeah. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching. Click on the video, go check it out. Appreciate each and every one of you, and we are out of here. Peace.